There's nothing more soul crushing for a man than when he's with a woman, but he's not up for the job. It's like trying to push a rope, it just doesn't work. But in this video, I'm going to give you the complete operating system to optimizing your own sexual performance as a man that I have built myself using foundational first principles physiology, because this is such a ridiculously common issue. I get comments, I get messages, some guys that I work with experience this issue. But in this video, we're going to solve it for good. We're going to go through what actually drives sexual performance, why most modern men are suppressed, how to build the physiological foundations for sexual performance, and the on-the-day sexual performance operating system that you can install into your life. This isn't going to be like cringe alpha bro type content. This is just going to be very, very foundational physiological stuff that you can use. But also, don't take this video as me going, you have to optimize your sexual performance or you shouldn't have sex at all. You can't have sex unless you do every single thing on this list. It's not like that. The more you can do, the better off you're going to be physiologically, and the stronger your libido and performance is going to be. But obviously, it's not like you have to optimize absolutely everything just to have sex with a woman. So let's get into it. What actually drives sexual performance? Well, it's going to come down to four things. It's going to come down to your dopamine, which a lot of guys don't realize is your dopamine is one of, if not the biggest driver of your sexual performance and libido, because it governs pursuit, drive, and initiation as well. And then you've got nitric oxide production, which is your blood flow. It's going to determine erection quality and whether you can actually get up for the job or if you're just going to have a gummy worm. Your nervous system state. So if you're in a sympathetic dominant state, which is your fight or flight nervous system state, if you're in a fight or flight nervous system state, the body's not really prioritizing reproduction and reproductive hormones like testosterone, especially if you're chronically stuck in a fight or flight state. So we want parasympathetic dominance. You want your androgens to be strong and your androgen signaling, more importantly, because this is going to govern your libido, your drive, and your confidence. So the formula, you want a high dopaminergic tone, you want strong nitric oxide production, you want parasympathetic dominance, and you want good and solid androgen signaling. And if you get those four things right, your libido, your drive, your performance are all going to be sorted. So the most common reasons why modern men are suppressed is chronic stress, because they're stuck in a fight or flight state, porn and overstimulation. This is a massive one for so many guys. They'll think, oh, I've got a high libido, I watch porn all the time. It's not the same thing. That's dopamine and novelty chasing. This is an absolute killer. So obviously you got the porn, that has to go completely. It's not about doing it here and there, just completely get rid of it. And you need to keep the dopamine low, because even things like the scrolling and abusing processed foods and maybe alcohol as well, this is going to be a problem because your dopamine tone is going to be significantly lower. Your dopamine receptor sensitivity is absolutely vital for this, so this has to go. Sedentary living, because poor metabolic health is going to lead to poor blood flow, poor androgen health, a poor circadian rhythm for the reason of you're going to get worse sleep quality leading to worse androgens, lower dopamine tone, you're going to have less energy throughout the day, your hormonal health is going to be off as it's heavily tied to your circadian rhythm. And number 5 is high body fat as well, because again, you're going to have poor metabolic health and poor androgen signaling as well, and typically high estrogen levels and lower testosterone as well. And when I say androgens, by the way, I forgot to mention, that's going to be your testosterone and your DHT. These are androgens, your primary male sex hormones. So we need to build the foundations for high sexual performance. So it's about building an organism yourself that actually can perform and is high functioning and it ticks all of these boxes for this formula here. So this is going to be what you need to build and have a lifestyle of as a whole. And the final section will be the operating system that you can use on the day of having sex. So the foundations are going to be, you need to get high quality sleep. This is non-negotiable, 8 to 9 hours a night, consistent schedule. And what I mean by consistent schedule, wake up at the same time every single day, go to bed at the same time every single day, 7 days a week. This is for your circadian rhythm, and it's going to be major for your nervous system, your natural cortisol rhythm, your androgen health, or your hormonal health as a whole. You want to be in a cold, dark, quiet room as well to optimize for deep sleep. Your testosterone, about 70 to 80% of your testosterone is produced during deep sleep. So that's why we want to be optimizing our sleep. I preach about this on the channel all the time. Heavy lifting, this is for our androgen health. And we can also have lower baseline cortisol if we're training correctly. And it just creates that sort of dominance, that psychological dominance signaling as well when you're lifting heavy and you're showing your own body that you're the one in control. So heavy compounds, so these are things like your deadlifts, your squats, your carries, your presses, weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, heavy compound lift. You want to be going in the gym 3 to 5 times a week and doing 30 to 45 minute sessions because we want power output. We're not trying to train like Navy SEALs and completely just destroy our bodies. We're trying to get the biggest hormonal response and the most metabolic benefit without chronically raising our cortisol and keeping us in a fight or flight state. Sprints are a really good tool for your hormonal health, your metabolic health. You can do them 1 to 2 times a week. I only do them once a week because I train a lot and they're quite taxing on the central nervous system. You don't want to overdo these things because you do get diminishing returns. So 1 to 2 times a week, and you do anywhere from 6 to 8 rounds and anywhere from 15 to 20-second sprints. I do hill sprints because you're much less likely to get injured when doing hill sprints. But they're a fantastic tool, great for your insulin sensitivity and blood flow and dopamine as well. This is where you want to get your dopamine from. So when I say cut the porn, cut the dopamine, you replace it with the heavy lifting, with the sprints, with the cold showers, etc. You want to get sun every single day. The sun is going to help with nitric oxide production, so blood flow. You're going to get vitamin D for your hormonal health and other functions in the body like your immunity. You want to get morning sunlight to anchor your circadian rhythm for the day. 15 minutes is what I do every single day. If it's winter for you, you can buy a 10K lux lamp and this will replicate the benefits of morning sunlight. And midday sun with your back and chest exposed for 45 to 60 minutes every single day. If you can do that, it's going to be major for your dopamine, your hormonal health, and your blood flow as well, and your nervous system as well. So it's ticking all the boxes just by getting sunlight. And you want to maintain a body fat percentage of 10 to 15%, again, for metabolic health, blood flow, insulin sensitivity, hormonal health, and you're typically going to have higher baseline stress levels if you're very overweight, because you're going to have systemic inflammation that's going to raise cortisol. You're not going to feel as confident as well if you're really fat compared to if you've got abs and you're in good shape. And finally, your diet as well. So if you've got a really processed diet, again, it's hitting your dopamine. You're going to have worse hormonal health. You're going to have poor androgen signaling. So you want to eat a whole food diet with 30 to 40% of your total calories consumed coming from dietary fat, with a low alcohol intake. I know guys like to drink alcohol because it gives you that short-term confidence, but it's going to give you long-term sexual dysfunction, and it just makes it significantly worse than it should be. And if you can do everything in this system, if you're absolutely hammered and you've had 12 pints of beer, then it kind of makes it a bit futile. And you want a micronutrient-dense diet as well: zinc, copper, vitamin A, vitamin D, magnesium, B vitamins, etc. And you can get this from eating a lot of red meat, eggs, liver, dairy, fruits and potatoes as your carbs, and honey. I've got a lot of videos on diet, so if you're interested in that, go check them out after this video. I won't go into major detail here. But what is the on-the-day sexual performance operating system? I've invented this myself. You need to understand first, use this as a tool. Don't treat it as gospel. I now have to do all of this and make sure everything's perfect before I have sex, and don't overthink about it, please, because that will create the opposite effect. If you're overthinking, oh, I didn't hit my routine of my sexual performance routine. That's not what we want to be doing. This is just things you can do to optimize it and to make it significantly better, and it will work. It absolutely will, because it's all foundational physiology. It's not me talking about some random super supplement. It's just the absolute foundations of what will work. So you don't really want to be training hard right before, ideally. So training, doing a massive session and then going home, going right to it. Ideally, you just want to be training earlier in the day because cortisol and sympathetic tone is going to be higher post-training. You want light movement and blood flow during the day. So you want to walk for 60 minutes, walk throughout the day, and get sun as well. This is going to be both for dopamine, blood flow, nervous system regulation, reducing your stress. You want to have carbs and sodium 60 minutes before. So like some fruit, some honey, a little bit of sodium. This is going to lower cortisol, and you want to avoid large meals as well. And then you're going to install this blood flow super stack into your life. So 300 milliliters beetroot juice and 6 to 8 grams of L-citrulline. So beetroot juice contains nitrates, which gets converted into nitric oxide, and L-citrulline gets converted into arginine as well, which is fantastic for blood flow. And you're hitting 2 different pathways for blood flow here, paired with the walk-in, paired with the sun. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely fantastic, and that's not expensive, so I highly recommend you do install that. It does sound like some weird hack that might not work, but trust me, it works. It's absolutely fantastic. And this one is incredibly important. You need to keep dopamine sensitive. So ideally, no fat for anywhere from 3 to 7 days, if not longer. In an ideal world, again, it's not like complete gospel. You want to avoid cheap dopamine in the day. So if you, let's say you spend a whole day scrolling, eating junk food, sitting inside, maybe you watch porn in the morning, hopefully not, but just no chance. There's just no chance that it's gonna be that good, be that appealing, because your dopamine receptors are going to be downregulated, and you want to have no alcohol ideally in your system as well. And this is going to be a major lever you can pull. And you want to have a low stress nervous system as well. So get high quality sleep the night before, and no/minimal psychological stress. And you want to avoid overthinking, especially with this system. You don't have to think about all of it and think, oh no, I didn't take the super stack, or I didn't have any carbs and sodium, or I haven't walked enough today. This is just the best way to do it. Doesn't mean it's the only way to do it. If you want to completely optimize your performance, then yes, try and do as much as possible. Don't stress about it, because stressing about it would in turn mean you're not following the system correctly anyway. But this is the sexual performance operating system. If you do all of this, it's night and day, my friend. It really is. If you install these things into your life, you're going to improve your whole quality of life, let alone your sexual performance. You use this on a day, you're going to have a more enjoyable and high performance experience. But if you want to improve your androgen health, there is a free testosterone toolkit that I highly recommend you download in the description. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some value from it. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.